Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. Distinguished scholars, dignified pedagogues and my dear cronies and companions, it's given me an immense peace and pleasure to be here with you and to deal the relevant topic that, or the title or the question that all time hesitates in our mind, that do we need a moral fabric? Do we must need a moral fabric? A relevant topic as we are going through the age of atheism, and the questions related to morality and religion is continuously coming in front of us. Have you ever thought this topic so seriously? Actually, do we must need a moral fabric? The answer is that yes, we need a moral fabric. My dear buddies, as we know that we are human beings, and we are social animals. We are not animals. Think that the point that we are social animals and not animals. As taking the case of the animals, we know that there was no law and order, and they are living as they like. But coming to the case of human being, we need some structure and we need some moral values to lead forward our life, as we are living a social life cooperating with our co-human beings. And have you ever thought that if there was no law, if there was no morality, what would be the condition of the world? If everybody is going to lead a life as they like, only with their own laws and order and conditions and criteria and manage, what would be the condition of the world? The answer is that the existence of human being in the world is not possible. The existence of the human being is not possible without morality. Not the world, not the living of each human being. Have you ever thought, just think about your life, if there was no morality, what would be the safety of your life? To cite a relevant example, I'm taking that I'm a human being, and it was my interest, one of my interests is that I want to create and invent an atom bomb thing, and I'm inventing an atom bomb, and I'm thinking that this is my great invention. This is my great invention, and I want to apply this invention to the world. What would be the impact if an atom bomb is blasted? If made it blasted, what would be going to happen? The whole world, or a major part of the world, is going to destruct by this single atom bomb and affected a lot of human beings. So if everybody is thinking that, if everybody is thinking that if I want to make this thing, or if I'm thinking that this is my atom bomb, this is my invention, and I have the freedom to apply this and use this. No. The answer is no. So we need a morality and principles, otherwise we are going to hurt the life of the human beings. We are going to hurt the life of other co-beings. We are living in a world where everybody is thinking that human need freedom and we need 100% freedom. This is just blended. Even each atheist or someone starts to come to the stage or to dais and start speaking, we need 100% freedom. Are we getting 100% freedom now? Just forget about the religion. There is no case of religion. I'm not taking your attention to the case of religion and I'm blending it with morality and religion. No, case of just human being. Just think about the life of an atheist. Is it possible? As we are Indians, we are following the Constitution of India. If anyone tells that he is experiencing 100% freedom, it is not. We are only getting up to maximum 60% of the freedom. The 40% is still remaining. Because if we are going to use the 100% freedom, it should be affecting the co-beings. My dear buddies, and recently Booker Prize winner has told that human being need morality, or he is think about morality when he starts to think. When the morality is coming, when human being starts to think. You know that you all know Harari's famous book, The Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. He says the history of the human being. And he tells that the sequence of history, how human beings and the history that in the early ages, in the past time, human being was not wearing the dresses, was just covering with the leaves. And when the the transformation happens and he starts to think, the culture and the mind and the morality is coming. My dear buddies, I just want to conclude my topic. One of the things that I want to focus in this topic is that when we are thinking about morality, we have to understand that the morality should be created. What is the base of morality? If a morality that is made or created by human being is never possible. Is it possible? If I'm going to make a principle for morality, what will be my preference? If you're going to make a morality, what would be your preference? It's all about, if I'm making, I will be thinking about my emotions. I'm thinking about my family. I'll be thinking about the things that affect my life. And if you are going to make it, your preference will be your situations and circumstances and the favorable things that up to you. So a morality created by human being is not an apt one, and it is not a clear morality. The morality is created by one who is not a human being, is perfect. My dear buddies, so I'm just concluding the idea that 2 points that I have tried to share you, that the morality is super important for a better human life. And the second point is that if there is a morality, it should be created by the one not by a human being. Because if the human being is going to create a morality, it should be a lot of limitations. As we know that we are Indians and we are followed, when we take the political science textbook of the Indian constitution, with chapters we are coming the amendments, the amendment 1, amendment 2, amendment 3. Why this amendment is happening? Because the constitution of India is made by a human being or a group of human beings. They will be thinking, and we have some limitations. We are human being, we must have many limitations. So I just want to conclude. I hope that you have got the idea. So let's have the questions now.
My question is, how do you address the balance between universal moral values and respecting cultural diversity?
One more.
How do you address the balance between universal moral values and respecting cultural diversity?
We are experiencing, it's not, I hope that we are still living within different diversities and cultural diversities. And also we are experiencing the morality. Even now what's happening is that now we are experiencing the morality. Actually, blending or just cooperating, the biggest hesitating question is that I hope that I just tell you that blending the religion, and when we say about the cultural diversity, we are just framing cultural diversity. Yes, the fact is that religion, is to say the truth, that it is the main thing is that religion and the morality. We know that as we are human beings and think about the morality that created by the religions of the world, it must addresses the universal values. If you try to go to the text, the traditional text, the exact texts of any religion, you can see that they are respecting the universal values, the human values and the cultural values.
My question. There is no doubt in the need of morality. The question is, the moral fabric is necessary or not? If moral fabric is necessary to assure morality in a human being, then morality couldn't be seen a one who have no moral fabric, and morality should be formed in those who have moral fabric. Actually, the fact is opposite. Then how can you say the moral fabric is compulsory for morality?
I was just addressing the question throughout my presentation, and I was just concluded to the two things that the morality. For I was told that I am not focusing on any religion or the case of any diversities by religion or any other things. But I was addressing as we are social human beings, we want to perform or we want to experience a better social living in this world, we need some laws and moral fabric. And this moral fabric is not related to any religion. But I was focusing on one point that this moral fabric should not be created by a human being, but rather than a human being. If it is created by a human being, it has a lot of limitations. It will be collapsing the human life. If there is no morality, it will be collapsing human life. And it is created by a human being, there are a lot of limitations. So we need a moral fabric, and it should not be created by a human being. That's all.
My question is, we know about the Renaissance in Europe that was formed by rejecting many of moral values that had been existed. But we read always the Renaissance as one of the greatest possible revolutions in the world. So, what is the need of morality?
As we know that you are telling about the Renaissance and history. And when coming to history, we know that there is historiography. We are reading the history from historiography. When not take the case of Indian history, it is written by. It is not. We are reading the history. We are not experiencing the history. And here the morality, when you are telling about the history of Europe or Renaissance, we are reading the secondary texts about the Renaissance. And the history is always history, and how they have interpreted the history matters a lot. I was just telling that point, even though as we are, I'm telling about the general morality or how it is affecting a social living. Coming to in the case of Renaissance, many people are telling that the Renaissance the Renaissance is a great leap in the human history, and when come to some other persons, it will be diversifying. And we can see the diversified answers in the case of history and Renaissance.
Sir, here the morality is based upon the common sense of every people. Then everybody's common sense is different. As we know, see in the world, it is very simply different common sense for every people. Then how we find equity in this fabric of this thing? I mean, how we get equity in morality?
I hope that I have answered it in my second point, that we need morality, and you are talking about the common sense of the human being. I was told that a morality should not be created by human being, and we don't have to concern about the common sense. It should not be created by a human being. It should be created by a non-human being, a whole power, the world. And we are telling the power, a power who know the future, who know the past, who know the human being, what is his past, what is his present, everything, who have no ages, who has no time limitation. So, if we are concerning about the common sense, if it is created by human being, and I was told that a morality that is created by human beings is always imperfect, and it has a lot of limitations. And the solution is what? It should be created by a non-human being, a whole power who know everything, who know the ages, who know the past, and who know the future. Inshallah, I hope that you have got a clear idea about the morality and. And, uh, and do we need a morality, and hope studies and discussions and discourses on the matter more. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.